Harley-Davidson dealers aren't saying it out loud, but some bikes are sitting too long, gathering dust instead of miles. This July, they're quietly trying to move them fast. From forgotten cruisers to overlooked tourers, these are the 7 bikes dealers are pushing hardest to clear out before the month is over. Number 7. Harley Davidson 48. Every year, a few Harley Davidson models end up gathering more dust than miles. And as we roll into July, one bike that keeps appearing at the back of the showroom floor is the 48. It is one of those machines that commands attention from a distance, but often leaves buyers hesitating at the last second. With a starting price of around $12,200, it falls right into the middle of Harley's cruiser lineup, promising vintage styling and aggressive stance, but it comes with serious trade-offs that are now becoming hard for dealerships to ignore. The 48 is powered by a 1,200 cubic centimeters air-cooled V-twin engine, delivering 66 horsepower and 73 pound-feet of torque. That might not sound earth-shattering, but paired with its 545-pound dry weight, it gives the bike a satisfying surge of low-end pull. On paper, it seems like a great urban cruiser. However, in practice, its stripped-down frame and ergonomic limitations start to show within the first hour of riding. Most owners report cramped legroom and a stiff ride, which limits long-distance comfort significantly. The riding position is aggressive, with forward controls and low handlebars that put pressure on the wrists and lower back. This setup looks good in photographs, but in reality it creates fatigue faster than expected, especially for older riders or those with joint stiffness. Combined with a peanut-shaped fuel tank that holds just over 2 gallons, the 48 suffers from poor range. Some riders report hitting the reserve light after only 70 miles. Another problem is how this bike fits into Harley's overall lineup. The 48 is competing with other 1,200 cubic centimeters bikes like the Iron 1200 and even the Softtail standard, both of which offer better ride comfort and fuel capacity. At this price point, buyers expect more than just retro looks. They want some real versatility, and that's where the 48 falls short. The braking system features single front and rear discs, which are acceptable for a bike of this size, but not exceptional. There's no advanced anti-lock braking system in earlier models, and even newer units tend to lack the braking confidence of more modern rivals. Suspension is basic, with a conventional fork up front and dual coilover shocks in the rear. Dealers are feeling the pressure to move this model. Even with upgrades like custom seats, bar-end mirrors, or cosmetic kits, the 48 remains a tough bike to sell. Many customers love how it looks, but quickly realize it's not the right fit once they swing a leg over it. And that leads to test rides without conversions, and bikes that linger on the sales floor longer than they should. One major factor working against the 48 right now is the shift in rider preferences. More buyers, especially older ones, are opting for bikes that can do it all: commute, tour, and cruise. The 48 just does not check those boxes. Its old-school charm only goes so far when compared to better equipped and more comfortable options in Harley's own stable. If the 48 feels too compact, the next bike on this list proves that even size can't save a sluggish model. The race to move these models is on, and we've got the details you need to know before you buy. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and let us know in the comments which Harley you think is a steal this July. Number 6. Harley Davidson Sport Glide. Some motorcycles are engineered with a clear purpose: touring long distances, carving through curves, or cruising through town with confidence. Then there are bikes like the Sport Glide. At first glance, it looks like Harley-Davidson's attempt to combine the versatility of a touring bike with the raw attitude of a cruiser. In theory, it sounds like a win. In practice, however, it is struggling to find a home with any rider base, and Harley dealerships across the country are quietly moving it off showroom floors in hopes of making room for stronger sellers. With a starting price around $19,499, the Sport Glide sits in an awkward middle ground. It's not quite affordable enough to attract new Harley buyers, and it's not refined or distinct enough to pull in seasoned riders looking for a specific purpose-built machine. Powered by the Milwaukee 1749 cubic centimeters V-twin engine, it produces 86 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of torque. That's more than enough for highway power and city riding alike. It weighs just about 700 pounds wet, which is manageable compared to touring models like the Road King or the Street Glide. Despite those respectable specs, the Sport Glide has a serious identity problem. It features a small, detachable fairing and saddlebags that are meant to provide touring capability. But the bags are too small for real touring, and the fairing doesn't provide enough wind protection for longer rides. It ends up being a bike that tries to do everything, but doesn't do anything especially well. Riders expecting full bagger comfort are left wanting, and those looking for stripped-down performance often find it bloated and too soft. Mechanically, the platform is solid. The engine runs smoothly, the 6-speed transmission is dependable, and the belt drive is low maintenance. But it is the design compromises that make this bike so forgettable to most buyers. The forward foot controls and mini-ape handlebars can feel mismatched, especially for shorter riders. The ride quality is decent thanks to the monoshock rear suspension, but it's tuned more for cruising than hard carving. Braking is handled by a single front disc and single rear disc, which are adequate for casual riding but uninspiring under aggressive use. The dual bending valve front forks are competent, though some owners report a vague front-end feel when cornering. Where the Sport Glide really begins to fall short is in its lack of personalization and aftermarket support. Riders who want to make the bike their own are finding limited options, especially compared to the endless parts and upgrade possibilities available for other Softtail models like the Fat Bob or Lowrider S. The detachable fairing is a unique touch, but it also limits compatibility with more robust fairing systems or windshields. That leaves the rider stuck with a setup that doesn't go far enough in either direction. Too much bodywork to be truly minimalist, but not enough function to be a tourer. The next bike aimed for comfort and style, but wound up delivering something far worse: a reputation for unexpected problems and lingering frustration. Let's take a closer look. Looking for gear that actually fits these bikes? We've listed the jackets, helmets, and gloves riders trust. Check the description. Number 5. Harley Davidson Street Glide Special. It is one of the most recognizable touring bikes in the Harley Davidson lineup. The silhouette alone tells you everything. Frame-mounted fairing, stretched saddlebags, low stance, and an unmistakable stance on the road. For years, the Street Glide Special defined the Harley touring experience, but as of July this year, it is also one of the bikes that dealerships across the country are quietly trying to clear out fast. With a starting price of around $27,999, this model represents a premium choice for riders who want long-haul comfort without stepping up to the Ultra or Trike platforms. It is powered by the Milwaukee 8 1868 cubic centimeters V-twin engine, delivering approximately 93 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. The engine is air and oil-cooled, delivering smooth power delivery and an unmistakable throttle feel. This power plant is paired with a 6-speed transmission and electronic cruise control, making it ideal for open highway travel. On paper, this bike has all the right elements. It weighs 825 pounds, which gives it strong highway stability, especially in crosswinds. Dual-disc front brakes with 4-piston calipers provide strong stopping power, while the rear features a single-disc setup. Suspension is handled by dual-emulsion rear shocks with hand-adjustable preload and a 49mm dual-bending valve front fork, which smooths out road imperfections with surprising refinement for a bagger. So why is this bike struggling to move off showroom floors? The answer lies not in its quality, but in its oversaturation. The Street Glide Special was one of the most widely purchased Harley models in the years 2021 through 2023. Riders who were flush with stimulus checks or looking to upgrade during that window went big, and many chose this bike. But now, with trade-ins piling up and interest rates slowing new financing, dealerships are sitting on more units than they can sell. Compounding the issue is the used market. There is currently a glut of gently ridden 2022 and 2023 models with low mileage and aftermarket upgrades already installed. For savvy buyers, the pre-owned listings offer more value than a brand new showroom unit. So even if a customer walks in loving the Street Glide Special, they often walk out having bought one slightly older for significantly less. Another challenge is model overlap. The Street Glide Special now sits in a weird middle ground. Riders seeking luxury often step up to the Road Glide Limited or Road Glide CVO. Riders who want something leaner or more stripped down turn to the standard Street Glide Triglide or Softtail Sport Glide. The special is supposed to be the balance, but that balance now feels like compromise in a market where buyers want extreme value or extreme flair, not the in-between. Dealerships have responded quietly. While the brand avoids direct markdowns, many locations are leveraging trade-in over allowances, low-interest financing options, and bundling offers that include service packages or accessory credits to move inventory without advertising price cuts. It is a shadow strategy designed to preserve the model's premium image while still clearing space for the next year's lineup. You'd expect trikes to move quickly with an aging rider base, but this next one is proving harder to offload than anyone predicted. Number 4. Harley Davidson Triglide Ultra. Among Harley Davidson's lineup of heavyweight touring machines, few models are as visually commanding or as controversial as the Triglide Ultra. Designed to be the ultimate long-distance trike for riders who want 3 wheels, maximum comfort, and a built-in sense of confidence, this machine should have been an unstoppable seller. But what's happening at dealerships across the country right now tells a very different story. With a starting price of around $36,999, the Triglide Ultra represents one of the most expensive entries in Harley's catalog, and that's part of the problem. Powered by the Milwaukee 8 1868 cubic centimeters VI twin engine, the Triglide Ultra produces around 90 horsepower and 120 pound-feet of torque. While those numbers might not jump off the page, they are tuned for stability and low-end grunt. Paired with a 6-speed cruise drive transmission, this setup gives the trike a strong, steady pull even under load. Riders looking to haul a passenger and gear for a weekend tour will appreciate the torque, but the engine is still pushing over 1,243 pounds of rolling weight, and that is where things begin to feel sluggish. The Triglide Ultra comes with reflex-linked Brembo brakes, full front and rear disc braking with anti-lock support, and a dual bending valve front suspension paired with premium emulsion rear shocks. For a trike, the ride is impressively composed. That said, some riders find that maneuverability at low speeds feels disconnected compared to a traditional two-wheeled touring bike. Parking lots, tight corners, and sloped driveways reveal the limits of the three-wheel platform, especially for newer riders or those who are downsizing due to physical limitations. Inside the fairing, riders get a full infotainment system, complete with navigation, Bluetooth connectivity, and an integrated headset interface. Creature comforts include heated grips, cruise control, a 4-speaker audio setup, and a tour pack luggage system with over 50 cubic liters of cargo space. There's no denying the comfort. The problem is who exactly this machine is built for. The average age of a Triglide buyer has steadily increased, with most owners entering retirement age or beyond. That aging demographic means fewer new buyers are coming into the segment, and the resale market is getting saturated with used Triglides in excellent condition that are still struggling to sell. This has placed dealerships in a tight spot. They're sitting on high-cost inventory that's not moving, machines that eat up valuable floor space and require constant promotion to generate interest. The trike doesn't appeal to younger riders, and many experienced touring enthusiasts are sticking with the more traditional two-wheeled road glide or street glide, which offer similar features in a lighter, more responsive package. Insurance costs for trikes are another hidden barrier. While many assume a three-wheeler will be cheaper to insure due to its stability, the opposite is often true. Premiums are high, especially for full coverage, and parts availability for trike-specific components can lead to extended repair times and steeper service bills. And unlike the two-wheeled models, the Triglide's customization options are more limited. There's a smaller aftermarket ecosystem, and many owners find themselves locked into factory configurations that are expensive to modify. If that surprised you, the next bike on this list was supposed to lead Harley's future, but now it's being left behind. Number 3. Harley Davidson LiveWire 1. It was supposed to be a revolution, a bold leap into the future, a machine that would redefine what it meant to ride a Harley Davidson in the 21st century. Instead, the LiveWire 1 has become one of the most difficult bikes for dealerships to move in the summer of 2025. Despite its impressive engineering and futuristic edge, the LiveWire has hit a wall. And it is not just about the technology, it is about the market Harley tried to reach and the market they left behind. Priced at around $22,799, the LiveWire 1 comes with a fully electric motor that delivers 105 horsepower and 86 86 pound-feet of torque acceleration is immediate, 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds flat. The throttle is whisper smooth. There is no clutch, no gears, just instant torque and a ride quality that feels like gliding on rails. Weighing in at 544 pounds, it is lighter than most full-size Harleys and designed with aggressive urban styling in mind. But all of that forward-thinking performance hits a hard stop the moment real-world practicality enters the picture. The LiveWire's Achilles heel is not its speed, it is its range. While Harley claims it can reach up to 146 miles on a full charge under city conditions, owners regularly report far less. Real-world riding, especially on highways, brings the range down to under 100 miles. For many riders, that means the LiveWire is only good for short commutes or afternoon rides. Long-distance cruising, road trips, or even weekend runs to a neighboring town become complicated math equations involving public charging stations, wait times, and unpredictable range drops. Charging itself is a serious issue. While the LiveWire does support Level 2 charging, many owners have reported unreliable performance from public chargers. Inconsistent port compatibility, broken fast chargers, and software errors have left riders stranded or forced them to wait hours to get just enough charge to get home. Even at home, charging to full takes several hours using standard equipment. It is simply not practical for riders who grew up filling a tank and hitting the road. The design, though sleek and well-balanced, sacrifices comfort for style. The seat is narrow and firm, the bars are slightly aggressive, and the foot peg placement gives it a semi-sport posture that is unfamiliar and uncomfortable for many Harley loyalists. Riders who grew up with the low-slung feel of a Road King or Softtail find the LiveWire's riding position awkward and fatiguing over time. The suspension is adjustable and well-tuned for city streets, but feels stiff when pushed on longer rides or rougher pavement. The brakes, Brembo dual discs up front and a single disc in the rear, are excellent, offering confident stopping power. The display is a bright, fully digital screen that shows speed, battery range, mode selection, and navigation. It looks high-end and functions well when it is not glitching. Several riders have reported bugs in the software, including freezes, random shutdowns, and inaccurate range estimates. For a bike that relies entirely on its electronic brain, that's a serious concern. The next bike on this list also tried to blend tradition with modern appeal, but it could not shake the flaws hiding behind its retro look. Number 2. Harley Davidson Softtail Standard. For riders who want a no-nonsense cruiser with stripped-back styling, this one should have hit the mark. It has the looks, the engine, and the riding stance that Harley-Davidson fans usually gravitate toward. Yet this model is quietly stacking up on dealership floors, and many buyers are passing it up after just one test ride. There's a very specific reason it's not moving in July, and it all comes down to expectations that the Softtail Standard simply fails to meet. At a base price of around $14,399, this is one of the more affordable bikes in the Softtail family. It's powered by the Milwaukee 8 1749 cubic centimeters V-twin engine, delivering 86 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of torque. That's plenty of power for weekend cruising, backroad acceleration, and even light touring, especially when paired with a lightweight Softtail chassis. Weighing in at 655 pounds wet, it handles well for a Harley, especially at low speeds, and the engine, as expected from Milwaukee 8 heritage, sounds as good as it feels under throttle. So what's the problem? It's not the ride, it's the presentation. This bike looks bare. Some call it clean, others call it empty. The Softtail Standard comes without a windshield, no saddlebags, no upgraded seat, no passenger backrest, and barely any chrome. Even the gauges are minimal. In a showroom full of upgraded heritage classics, fat bobs, or low riders with bold finishes and loud options, this model comes across like a work in progress. Buyers aren't just comparing price, they're comparing presence. And when you sit this next to a similarly priced but more accessorized Softtail Street Bob or Lowrider S, the Standard feels like a downgrade. The stripped-back style could have been an opportunity for customizers, but even custom shops have noted that the Softtail standard is harder to sell than other mod-ready models. And that's because by the time you buy this one and then start adding the basic features, passenger pegs, crash bars, saddlebags, you're already bumping into the price range of better-equipped models. Riders who wanted budget now feel like they've been baited into spending more, and riders who don't want to build out their bikes from scratch just move on. Under the hood, the performance is solid. The suspension setup includes standard front forks and a hidden rear monoshock that keeps the Softtail profile intact while still absorbing bumps reasonably well. The brakes are dual-piston front and rear calipers, and while not sport bike level, they're more than capable of bringing the bike to a confident stop. The seat height is low at around 26.5 inches, making it accessible to a wide range of riders. And the riding triangle is relaxed enough for longer rides, though taller riders may find it cramped after a few hours. Still, for all its mechanical competence, the bike feels unfinished when judged by showroom standards. It's not a beginner bike and it's not a fully loaded cruiser, it's caught in between. And that's why Harley dealerships are having trouble moving it. It doesn't help that resale value on this model isn't particularly strong either, because buyers expect to pay more later just to bring it up to par. And finally, the #1 Harley Davidson that dealers are trying hardest to move this July is a bike once considered a bagger icon, but now finds itself stranded between generations. Dealers are practically begging you to buy these bikes this July, and we've got the inside scoop. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and comment below with which bike you think is most likely to get a big price drop. #1, Harley Davidson Road King Special. There was a time when this bike represented the perfect middle ground. Pure American touring power without the flash, without the gadgets, and without the price tag of the larger, fully loaded machines. The Road King Special carved out its own identity with stripped-down styling, blacked-out components, and just enough attitude to keep traditional riders interested. But something has changed. Now this model is sitting in showrooms longer than expected, quietly being nudged by dealers who would rather move it than see it collect dust. With a starting price around $24,999, the Road King Special is priced firmly in the heavyweight touring category. It is powered by the Milwaukee 8 1868 cubic centimeters V-twin engine, delivering 93 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. That engine is the heart of the bike, offering smooth acceleration, excellent low-end pull, and a dependable long-haul character. Paired with a 6-speed transmission and belt final drive, it's built to devour highway miles with ease. The chassis supports that mission. The bike weighs in at 805 pounds, which may sound heavy, but it's lighter than many full-dress tourers, giving it better balance in town and on tight turns. Dual front disc brakes with 4-piston calipers and a single rear disc provide strong and consistent stopping power. Suspension comes from Showa, dual bending valve front forks, and an emulsion rear shock with preload adjustability, offering a ride that's compliant yet capable of handling poor road conditions. So if the Road King Special checks all the boxes, power, comfort, styling, and handling, why is it struggling to sell? The answer has less to do with performance and more to do with positioning. It's stuck in the middle. Riders looking for traditional touring are choosing the Street Glide or the Road Glide, which come loaded with infotainment systems, full fairings, and more modern tech. On the other hand, cruiser buyers seeking minimalism and price flexibility are turning toward Softtail models or even use Dynaframes with more aggressive stance and customization options. The result is a bike that gets overlooked. It's not flashy enough for the tech-forward bagger crowd and not stripped down enough for riders who want the lean, loud, old-school experience. And with newer models like the Street Glide CVO and the Road Glide CVO grabbing headlines with touchscreens and rider modes, the Road King Special is left in the shadows, despite being a better real-world machine for many riders. Dealers know this. Sales staff often steer potential buyers toward bikes with either more features or a clearer identity. It's not uncommon for Road King Specials to be pushed with accessory bundles, small dealer credits, or creative financing just to get them moving. Floor space is being reallocated to more popular models, and riders who do inquire about the Road King are often shown competing options before they get a chance to test ride. Still, the bike has its loyal base. Longtime Harley riders who want classic looks without distractions continue to swear by it. The clean tank, The mini ape handlebars, the stretched saddlebags, it all combines into a timeless silhouette that's as distinctive as it is functional. There is no denying the pedigree. The Road King badge still carries weight in Harley's lineup, but new buyers? They're harder to convince. With Harley trying to clear out these bikes, it might be the perfect opportunity for savvy buyers. Let us know what you think in the comments, like the video if you found this helpful, and subscribe for all the latest deals and trends in the motorcycle world.